Hello, thank you for joining me in the webinar today. My name is Louis Green. I'm a chartered financial analyst, certified financial planner, certified private wealth advisor. I wrote a book on retirement planning. That book can be downloaded for free at 5stepsToRetirement.com. If you have any questions or want a copy of the book over email, please email me, louis.green@savvyadvisors.com. You can call or text me, 917-590-0552. I'm happy to set up a complimentary consultation. Please feel free to share that information with friends, family, and coworkers. Let's get started. Here's the agenda for the webinar. I'll spend about 25 to 30 minutes presenting. I'll start with a brief introduction to my practice. I'll spend some time on the 5 topics in the book: financial planning, investment planning, tax planning, estate planning, lifestyle management. I'll wrap things up and tell you how to keep in touch. Please note we do not provide legal or tax advice. Please reach out if you're looking for an accountant or attorney, as we have a network we might be able to share with you. Here's a brief introduction to my practice. My practice sits between financial planning and investment management. I believe that a comprehensive financial plan is the key to managing wealth. I pride myself on being easy to talk to. My approach partitions clients' assets based on their short, medium, and long-term goals to help keep them aligned with their personal financial situation. Growing up, I was inspired by my father, who was an accountant, and seeing the impact he made on his clients' lives. I earned my MBA, and I pursued further education, including the Chartered Financial Analyst, Certified Financial Planner, and Certified Private Wealth Advisor designations. Let's move on to estate planning. You're never too young to have an estate plan. I still see a lot of prospective clients that I meet that don't have estate plans, so be mindful of that. There are providers that we work with that can provide very simple trust and estate plans, and we're talking simple trust accounts, but be mindful of that. But let's talk about estate planning a bit. Now, here are some of the estate planning items we consider in our work with our clients, and you should do the same. Start with your estate planning documents. Everyone should at least have a will and or a irrevocable trust. That'll allow you to have a plan for distribution of your assets. If you want to avoid probate, consider a irrevocable trust. Be mindful of the gift and estate tax. Most people won't actually pay a tax, but if you're giving a gift to someone of unequal value in life or upon your death, there's a gift and estate tax. Be mindful if you have a state estate tax. Here in New York, for example, we have a state estate tax. If you have a large estate, there are irrevocable trusts that you can use. Consider picking up my book, where I list a couple of strategies, such as the spousal lifetime access trust, the grantor retained annuity trust, or the irrevocable life insurance trust. If you have a large estate, there are gifting options to reduce the value of that estate over time. So you can make gifts of $18,000 in 2024 or $19,000 in 2025 to an unlimited amount of individuals. You can split that gift with your spouse. You can give gifts of education, paying someone's tuition, paying someone's medical bills. You can be mindful of the rules there as well, but it's a nice way to reduce your estate over time without having to file a gift tax return. Have a plan for your wealth transfer and make sure you have plenty of insurance. We have a number of insurance providers that we work with. If you have beneficiaries, be mindful of who they are and make sure you educate them. Make sure they're responsible and they know how to manage wealth. And then be mindful of your beneficiary planning. I'm still seeing a lot of prospective clients that come in that they have IRAs and they're not really properly planned in regards to their beneficiaries. So be mindful of who those beneficiaries are. Here are some of the estate planning fundamentals we consider in our work with our clients. As I mentioned earlier, consider having a trust and or a will. Be mindful of how your accounts are titled. Make sure that the titling of your accounts aligns with your trust or your will. Have a living will, which is a set of instructions you leave in the event you become incapacitated. Consider having a trusted person to serve as your power of attorney. Consider a financial power of attorney and a healthcare power of attorney as well. And as I mentioned earlier, be mindful of your beneficiary reviews. If you have an IRA or an insurance and you have someone named as a remainderment, that money is going to go to that person, not to someone mentioned in your will. So be mindful of that. Review that on an annual basis. Here's a sample estate calculation. This is a sample plan from eMoney. This is not an actual client. If you have a large estate, be mindful of how much your estate tax might be, especially if you're living in a state that has its own separate estate tax. Be mindful of that. That's the end of the presentation. As I mentioned earlier, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. You can email me at louis.green@savvyadvisors.com. You can call or text me at 917-590-0552 if you'd like a copy of the book. Go ahead and navigate to 5stepsToRetirement.com/ebook or email me for a copy of the book. Thank you for attending the webinar. I hope everyone has a great day.